Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be going over the edge rushers that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had formal interviews with at the NFL Combine. There are a lot of fun names here, so we are going to dive into it. But real quick, I am sponsoring a wrestling match on April 27th, 2024 in Seminole at the Seminole Recreation Center. It is the POW Florida Championship on the line in the main event as Leroy Shogun defends against Daniel the King Starling. If you guys do want more information or to purchase tickets as well, because I will be at the event, check out the link in the pinned comment or the description that I have in this video. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. The first prospect that they did have a formal interview with, and this is per our friends over at Pewter Report, by the way, it is Laiatu Latu. I think that's how you say his name. I always mess him up every year. But anyway, Latu here coming in out of UCLA, 6'5", 259 pounds, is graded to have boom or bust potential. Ran a 4.64 40-yard dash, 1.62 10-yard split, a 32-inch vertical jump, 9-foot 8-inch broad jump. Now, I will say this. I originally thought whenever I did, I believe it was like a mock draft or prospects that the Bucs could be interested in, I didn't think that Latu would be there, possibly. Now, my colleague Evan Wanish has since informed me that, yeah, there's a legitimate possibility that he could be there for the Bucs. Now, a lot of people are going to be concerned with this. He did not play in 2020 with Washington due to a neck injury, and then he did not play in 2021 because doctors would not clear him due to a neck injury. He then would go on to UCLA in 2022, was a first-team All-Pac-12 conference, had 12.5 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, had 3 forced fumbles, played in all 13 games as a reserve, and he did transfer to UCLA because of the presence of one of his former coaches, Malone, and he was cleared by UCLA doctors. That's very important. Then in 2023, he won the Lombardi Award for the nation's top defensive lineman or offensive lineman, and he won the Ted Hendricks Award as the nation's top defensive end, first team All-American, Pac-12 Conference Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-Pac-12 Conference. He was a finalist for the Chuck Bendarner, oh my goodness, for the Defensive Player of the Year Award and the La Impact Award, which we did talk about this. The Michigan linebacker that we'd reviewed in our last video had won that award, Colson. So, but he did lead FBS with 21.5 tackles for loss and was fourth with 13 sacks. He started 12 games. He also had 2 interceptions, 2 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. Gets comparisons to TJ Watt. People are concerned about the neck injury. And while I do understand that, I say we ball. That's what I say, okay? That is what I absolutely say. I think that if he is there at the Buccaneers selection, don't even think about it as a second guess. You pick this man because you need a guy like this. Is the injury thing a concern? Yes, that is why he is graded as a boom or bust potential. But man, if he can stay healthy, he is the perfect player for a Buccaneers defense. If he is there, I think that Todd Bowles is pounding the table, screaming to the heavens, please let me get this guy. Also, fun fact, he did play with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka at Washington, so that's just kind of cool in there as well. But, you know, you have Laiatu Latu in there as well. I think he should be far and away probably one of the top prospects. If Jackson Powers-Johnson or if Graham Barton isn't there, go get this guy. Go get this guy. You got Adisa Isaac in there as well, coming out of Penn State, 6'4", 247 pounds. Is graded to be an average starter coming into the league. 4.74 40-yard dash, 1.64 10-yard split, 34.5-inch vertical jump, 10-foot 3-inch broad jump. Gets comparisons to Chase Winovich, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. Now, this is another guy who has had some injury concerns. Had a torn Achilles in 2021. Came back, though, had 4 sacks in 2022. He started all 13 games in 2023. Had 7.5 sacks and 16 tackles for loss. 11 tackles for loss in 2022 as well. This is a guy who I think would be a good fit also for the Bucs defense. You pair him up with Yaya Diaby, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and now Randy Gregory in that mix as well. I think he's a guy who can contribute right away, both as a run stopper and as a pass rusher. Also, it is somebody that, you know, it does say will eventually be average will eventually be average starter. There should be an "and" in there, NFL.com, but will eventually be an average starter. According to NFL.com, you never know, right? You never know. I think that Isaac here, Adisa Isaac, and Yaya Diaby could be a good future combination. Good size, too, at 6'4", 247. That's a big man right there for an edge defender, and I like it. I like Adisa Isaac out of Penn State. Next, you have Chop Robinson, which we've talked about Chop Robinson a good bit here on the channel. I had him in a mock draft recently. And folks, I'm going to be honest, I've kind of cooled on Chop Robinson a little bit. 6'3", 254 pounds coming in out of Penn State. So the Bucs have been doing a lot of work on some Penn State edge rushers, by the way. Just goes to show how good they were. But you take a look. 2023, he started 10 games, had 4 sacks, 7.5 tackles for loss. 2022, 5.5 sacks. Honorable mention for the Big Ten on the all Big Ten conference team. You then take a look. He was a 3rd-team All-American, 1st-team All Big Ten. I still like Chop Robinson. I do, but there are prospects I like more now. I like Latu out of UCLA more. I like Graham Barton and Jackson Powers Johnson more. Chop Robinson is still a fine prospect, and I think he would be a very solid addition. But I have been seeing a lot of people say, kind of reminds me about a little bit of Joe trying to show Inca, and I feel that. I resonate a little bit with those thoughts and opinions. If it doesn't work out, because here's the difference. Latu's a boom or bust because of injuries. Chop Robinson's a boom or bust just because of overall production. That's a very big difference in my opinion. A very big difference. You know this guy can produce, and can produce well. Can Chop Robinson produce? Or are we going to see similar stats that what he did at college, which, if I'm going to be honest, doesn't really cut it in the NFL as a first-round draft pick. Now, if the Buccaneers were to trade back and then select Chop Robinson at the top of the 2nd round, I'd be a lot more for that selection, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Finally, you have Marshawn Nland coming in out of Western Michigan. We've talked about this dude a lot lately. 6'3", 267 pounds. The Buccaneers have got to be interested in this guy. 4.75 40-yard dash, 1.66 10-yard split, a 35.5-inch vertical jump, a 9-foot 11-inch broad jump, 7.02 3-cone drill, 4.18 20-yard shuttle, and 21 reps on the bench press. This is a guy who I think is a very interesting player. 4.5 sacks, 2nd-team All-MAC award in 2023. Played in 10 games, started 9. He's really been a fringe starter, rotational guy throughout his entire collegiate career. If he's available at some point where it's good value, why not, right? Maybe he can develop into something. He's certainly got some good size at 6'3", 267. I am curious, because the production wasn't always there when he was at Western Michigan. So I don't necessarily know if this is a guy you would consider in the early rounds. I don't know. Maybe the Buccaneers would take him in the 2nd round. Maybe they would take him in the 3rd round with one of their 2 third-round picks if he gets there. I wouldn't be 100% opposed to the idea, but I do think that there is some meat left on the bone to see what he can do. And according to Lance Zierlein, he is a fit for a more of a fit for a 3-4 style of defense. So I'm curious about Marshawn Nland. They've expressed a lot of interest in him. Had a top 30 visit with the Bucs as well. Now you get this. Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. But guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions about this down in the comments section below about these edge rushers. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts. Do you like Latu out of UCLA? Do you like Isaac or Chop out of Penn State? Or do you like Marshawn Nland out of Western Michigan? Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.